Not right now. So right now you should have your ACT packet out. We're going to do 1 through 5. I have taken 30 seconds off of your time. So let's see how we do. I think that you're going to feel better about the first 30 when I take 30 seconds off, okay? Because they're the easy ones first. Are y'all ready? The 1 through 5. We're doing 1 through 5. You got your calculators ready? All right. Okay, so here we go. So juniors, you have about 2 months left until we take the ACT here at school. Sophomores, you have about 2 months as well left until we take the ACT Aspire, right? So we're going to have awesome scores on all of those. Juniors, we're going to be getting some free money to go to college. Sophomores, we're going to be getting ready to get some free money. All right, so here's what we're going to do. So we are on page, page 4, yeah. Page 4. So go ahead and grab page 4 on your notes. And let's get ready for that. Page 4 on your notes. Okay, guys, look, we do not have a lot to do today at all, okay? So once we get finished, several of you have homework to turn in that you haven't turned in yet. Several of you have homework you need to finish. So that's page 2 that we worked on for 2 days. So that needs to be looked at when we get finished with this, okay? Does that make sense? Page 2? Okay. All right, so here we go. All right, now look, guys, this is not as easy because this is adding and subtracting. So the reason I put number 1 in there is to kind of refresh your memory on how to add and subtract fractions. So that says 5 over 8. That was where a hole was when it copied over. So it's 5 over 8. So what is the least common denominator between 8 and 9? 72. Very good. So how did you make 8 become 72? You multiplied it by 9, right? So that means I need to multiply the 5 by 9 to get 45. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So how did I make 9 become 72? Multiplied by 8, so you're going to multiply 8 by 4, and you get 32. Add them together. You don't touch the denominator. You leave it as 72. And what's 45 plus 32? 77. And that is your answer. Or you could do a mixed number. 72 divides into 77 one time with 5 left over with your same denominator. Does that make sense?
So you don't have to pressure it.
Either one of those. Yeah, the only reason I put that one on there is so that to kind of refresh your memory for when we do this new stuff, okay? All right, so here we go. Here's the new stuff right here, this one. Everybody ready? Okay, so you have to have a common denominator. So look at the x minus 4. What is he missing that this fraction has? An outside number of what? 3. So it's missing a 3. So if you do it to the bottom, you got to do it to the top. What else is he missing that the other one has? But the whole thing. It's all together. That's why it's got parentheses around it. X plus 2 is what it's missing, right? So that means I got to do it to the top. It's the same exact thing we did before, but now you have to do it with expressions. All right, look at this last fraction, 3x plus 2. What is he missing that the other fraction has? So the other fraction has a 3. It has an x plus 2 and x minus 4. Very good. Now, don't cancel them, but if you were to cancel those out, you would get the same thing you started with, okay? So if you want to kind of check yourself, you can do that. So here we go. We got 3 times 3 is 9, and then x plus 2 plus 5, x minus 4, and I'm going to make that all one big fraction of 3x plus 2, x minus 4. It does not matter the order on the bottom as long as the 4 is negative and the 2 is positive. Did I do too much? Are y'all okay? I tried to skip a step so y'all could see what we were doing. I mean, you can rewrite it twice if you want to, but that is a lot of stuff to rewrite. So you could rewrite 9x plus 2 over 3x plus 2x minus 4 plus 5x minus 4 over 3x plus 2x minus 4 if you want to. That is perfectly fine. Okay? Alright, so here we go. Let's distribute. And we get 9x plus 18 plus 5x minus 20. And that's still over x plus 2, x minus 4. Or 3 times x plus 2, x minus 4. Now what you got, Chris?
Okay, why didn't you put the 3 in front of the 5?
The 3 in front of the 5.
Yeah, that on the first step. I think you're making this game this time.
Oh, because this one already had a 3. This one was missing a 3. So, like, look. This one over here, right? To make that 72, this is 8 times 9, right? This one already has the 9. It's missing the 8. So you're just doing what they need extra. This one already had the 3. That's why I didn't touch anything else. I got to multiply this one by 3 on top and bottom. That way they'll cancel back out and give me the same thing I had. We're going to do a couple more, don't worry, okay? Because I know that okay was just a, not really an okay.
Wait, is that it?
No, we're not finished. Alright, what do you see now? Combine the 9x and the 5x and you get 14x. What else do you see? 18 and negative 20. How much is that? Negative 2. And always factor everything to make sure nothing will cancel. This is 2 times 7x minus 1. 3x plus 2x minus 4. Always cancel to make sure that nothing else will cancel. I mean, always factor to make sure nothing else will cancel.
Why didn't you distribute to the bottom?
You could if you wanted to. But you want to keep it like that to make sure that nothing will cancel in the end. Okay. Alright, let's skip this 1 through 4 for right now and let's come back to it because it worked out better when we did it that way in second period. So let's try that with y'all, see if it works. Okay, let's go down to the bottom. You ready? So you have to make these the same denominator. So here we go. What is the least common multiple? What is the smallest number that 5 and 10 will both go into? 10. 10, right? Okay, so here we go. Let's make them 10 first. Okay, here we go. What is the least common multiple between a cubed and a? What is the smallest number they'll both have? A cubed. Very good. Let's make the bottom the same first, and then we'll multiply by what we need to. All right, what's the least common multiple between b squared and b? What's the smallest b they both have in common? B squared. There you go. Y'all okay so far? Yeah? Yes, ma'am.
On that one,
Yeah?
since it already has an a, you can multiply by a squared? Or
Yeah, that's what we're going to do next. That's what we're doing. We're gonna multiply on the top, but we need to. We're just getting the bottoms the same first.
by doing what?
Figuring out what number these will both go into, which is 10. So making sure you have the same here. So this is a cubed. You can make this one become a cubed. So we did a cubed on both of them. This is a b squared and a b. You can make this one become b squared. So we did b squared for both of them. Alright, so here we go. How did we make 5 become 10? Times 2. So you got to take this 4 and times 2. Alright, a cubed, right? This one already had an a cube, so I'm not going to multiply anything that one. But this one, how do we make a become a cubed? What do we need to multiply by? A squared. Very good. Alright, the b's. This one on the left was already b squared, so don't mess with anything. This one was just a b. So how do we make him become b squared? Times it by an extra b. Are y'all okay? Are real quiet today.
I thought it'd be a squared.
It is. It is. All right, so let's go ahead and make this one big fraction. You ready? 4 times 2 is 8. Plus, let's put all that in alphabetical order. So it'd be 9a squared bc all over 10a cubed b squared. Why can I not cancel anything? Because the addition. Very good, the addition. So, like, look, if that plus 8 was not there, you could cancel those out all day long. But that plus 8 makes this different, okay? Does that make sense? Are y'all okay? Let's do one. Yes, what you got, Chris?
What switch the A and C?
Alphabetical order was all.
If there was, never mind.
What's wrong?
Like, would you be able to simplify it if there was something before the bottom number?
No, you can't simplify at all because of this plus sign.
Like, even if on the bottom were there plus.
The only way you could simplify that was if the top and the bottom were exactly the same. Exactly. All right, let's look at number 2. You ready? Last one of these. So you're going to need to factor these first. That way you can see what they're missing. So let's factor the bottom. Here we go. So how does x squared minus x minus 6 factor? Minus 3 plus 2. Very good. Or plus 2 minus 3. Doesn't matter the order, as long as the 2 is positive and the 3 is negative. All right, we're subtracting. That's what makes this more difficult than yesterday and the day before, because we're subtracting. So now what are these two? What can I do with them? Pull out a 5. Very good. All right, you ready, Chris? This is kind of what we were talking about earlier. All right, so here we go. They both have an x plus 2, right? So I'm not going to do anything with those. This one has a 5, but this one doesn't. So if I multiply this bottom by 5 to make them match up, I have to do the same thing to the top. Does that make sense, Chris? Okay, so now anybody, what's the only thing that they're missing to make them the same? X minus 3. This one already has x minus 3, so you're not going to multiply anything. But this one, if you multiply by x minus 3 on the bottom, you have to do the same thing on the top. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, all right, here we go. So our denominator is 5x minus 3, x plus 2. And Elise, you could multiply all that if you wanted to, like you were talking about earlier, but you don't really have to. That's a whole lot to multiply. Okay.
Well, I was just like asking about like distributing that coefficient.
Oh, because that one was easy to do. We could do that. Big deal. That wasn't a big deal. But if you do the 5, you have to FOIL this first before you can distribute that 5. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's be careful. You ready? So we're going to distribute this 5. That'll be 5x minus 5. Are y'all okay? But we are not going to distribute a 4. What are we going to distribute? Negative 4. Very good. Be very careful. So it'll be minus 4x and then plus 12. All right. So what do you see will combine? 5x and negative 4. Very good, Lindsay. Be positive 1x. And then, what is that, a negative 5? I kind of wrote over it. Negative 5 plus 12 is how much?
7.
Positive 7. Very good. You all okay? I'm sure are quiet. Chris, does that make more sense? You sure? Okay, don't just say that just to say that, okay? Make sure. Sam, you okay, bud?
Yes, ma'am. I'm good.
All right. Seth, you good? Okay. Kira, you okay? Okay. All right, let's do the other ones. You ready? Let's do the last 4, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, so pretend like these are all denominators, and I need to make all 3 of them become the same, okay? So if you need a calculator, some of you may need to get a calculator because we're not so good with multiplication, and that is not anything to be upset about. You just grab that calculator and we get to going. All right, so you have 6, 15, and 9. What is the smallest number that they will go into? 45. 6 won't go into 45. They all three got to go into it. 90. 6 won't go into 90. Oh, yeah, will. 90. It is right. Yeah. Sorry, it is 90. I had to think for a minute. My bad. Very good. Are y'all okay on where I got 90 from? Look, guys, the easiest way is to deal with the 15. Think about all the multiples of 15. It'd be 30, but 9 won't go into 30. 45, but 6 won't go into 45. 60, but 9 won't go into 60. 75, 6 or 9 doesn't go into 75. And then 90, they all three go into 90. Does that make sense to everybody?
The deal with the biggest one.
The deal with the biggest one. That's going to make your life the easiest and the quickest. Okay? You don't have to, Sam. It'll work if you deal with the other ones.
Yeah.
It's just easiest to deal with that one. All right, so pretend like these are all denominators, okay? So you have x, you have x squared, and you have an x. What would I need on the bottom to make them all become exactly the same? X squared. There you go. Can somebody grab that door for me? Hey, Seth. All right, so then you've got y, you've got no y's, and you've got y to the fourth. What would I need to make them all exactly the same? Y to the fourth, and that's your least common multiple. Does that make sense? It's easier when you think about them as denominators. Okay, here we go. We need to factor this stuff first, okay? So look at this first one. What do you notice about all three of them? Y squared first, there you go, which leaves me with y squared plus 8y plus 15. 3 and 5, very good. Okay, so that's my first fraction denominator. What about this one? Five and 8, very good. What kind of 5 and what kind of 8? Very good. Okay, so let's pretend like these two are denominators of a fraction. So let's find their least common multiple. Let's figure out, what do I need to do to make them exactly the same? So what do you notice first? Y squared, right? I could multiply this one by y squared and have them the same. What else do you notice? They need a y minus 8, right? So look, well, hold on, stop. So you're pretending like these are denominators, okay? So look, if you need to, this is what I need to do sometimes when I learned how to do these. So you've got y squared, y plus 5, and y plus 3, right? And then you've got, you want to add or you want to subtract? It doesn't really matter. We're just making this up.
What's that?
You want to add? Okay. All right. Then we've got y plus 5 and y minus 8, right? So I've got to figure out what would I need to do to make them exactly the same, because my answer right here would be exactly the same. So this one would need a y squared on top and bottom, right? Then this one would need a y minus 8 on top and bottom. What else would we need? Y plus 3. Let's see, that would be this one, right? Y plus 3. What else do we have? Y plus 5 needs to be on the bottom. And then that would be your answer. Does that make sense? What? Okay, look, let's do this. Let's come down here and let's make this really big, okay? You ready? Alright, let's see. It was y squared, y plus 5, and y plus 3 was the first one, right? And you said you wanted to add, and we had y plus 5 and y minus 8 for the other one. Okay, you ready? Alright, what does this one have on the left? That this one, what is this missing that this has?
The y squared.
Okay, so we'd have to do a y squared on top and bottom, right? Okay, what else are they missing?
Y
This one's missing a y plus 3. And so you would need to do that on top and bottom. What else? I got to have them exactly the same.
And then on the other side, it's y minus 8.
There you go. So you'd have to do that on top and bottom, right? So now that they're exactly the same, this is your least common multiple. That's what we just wrote down. The y squared plus 5y, y plus 3, and y minus 8. That's all we just did as our answer right there. No wonder this all looks like a jumbled up hot mess. No wonder you couldn't figure that out. Okay, let's do number 3. Ready? 3 is pretty easy. So you got 12, 15, and 8. How much? 120. Hold on, let me make sure. Let's see. 8. Yep, 120 is right. And then a to what power? To the second. Very good. B to the third. C to the fourth. Very good. Look at y'all go. Very good. Y'all okay? Sam, does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. They were doing that while we were figuring out that other one. All right, what about number 4? So let's do this one first. So look, this is what y'all did yesterday on your homework. A lot of y'all were trying to factor this before you were pulling out the GCF that it had. Pull that GCF out first, then try to factor. So what do they have in common? 4. Then it would be a squared minus 3a minus 4. And what are the factors of 4 that add or subtract to be 3? Negative 4, positive 1, you said? Very good. All right, look at this second one. What do they have in common? An a, which would leave me with a squared minus 9a plus 20. And what are the factors of 20 that add or subtract to be negative 9? Negative 5, negative 4, negative 4, negative 5. It doesn't matter as long as they're both negative. All right, Sam, you ready? Okay, here we go. We got these two, right? Those are the bottoms of our fraction. So let's make that. If you need to, you can do this. Sometimes it really helps to do that. Make them a fraction, okay? All right, what do I need to do? What is this one missing? Huh? A minus 5, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to do that on top and bottom, right? What else is it missing? An A. Just an A in the front. What else is it missing?
The other side is missing a 4.
The other side's missing a 4. Are they exactly the same now? Nope, they're still missing something.
The other side is missing a plus 1.
A plus 1. There you go. So now whatever is down here is your least common multiple. So your answer for number 4, your least common multiple, is 4a, a minus 5, a minus 4, a plus 1. Oh, I've got to squeeze that a plus 1 down there. Guys, look, it doesn't matter the order. As long as you've got 4a, as long as you've got that 5 negative, as long as you've got that 4 negative, and that 1 positive. Yes, ma'am? But you still have to have that in your denominator. So I'd still have to write that as my least common multiple. So that's why it helps to make it as a denominator. They both have to have the a minus 5, even though it's already there. So make these the same first, and then whatever that is, that's your answer. Does that make sense? Yvonne? Are you sure? Don't just say yeah. Make sure you completely understand. Do you want to do this again on another piece of paper?
Do a minus 4 twice. I just want, but like why did you
Wait, say that again?
why did you put a minus 4 even like in the final?
Because look, this is your common denominator. So you have to have them the same. You can't just get rid of that a minus 4. It has to be your denominator. So whatever this denominator is just what your answer is. Yvonne, are you okay, baby? Are you sure? Would you like me to redo this on the board with you?
I think that, but I first said that I was
Say that again?
I think that now. I just feel like
Okay, I heard I get that, and then I couldn't hear the rest of that.
like if I do another one, I'll see if
Oh, okay, you need to give it to me now, or you want to wait till Monday? Okay, I'll have to find, let me go find one real quick. All right, guys, here we go. You ready? that's it for notes for today. What we're going to do for the rest of the class period is you're going to bring me your projects and you're going to finish up page 2 for those of you that need to finish up page 2, and we will go from there, okay? Got it good? Yeah. Yeah, page 2. We're turning that in at the end of the class period today. Yeah.